Konnichiwa disc golf fans, and welcome back to another season of exciting disc golf in Japan on Asia's only exclusive disc golf media network, Disc Channel, bringing you the lead card front nine of the 14th Okinawa Open, the 6th out of 7 stops on the inaugural PDGA Asia Tour. My name is Roland, Innova Ambassador, and I will be talking you through all the action here in Nakajin at the northern tip of Okinawa's main island in Japan in March of 2026. Starting off with hole 1. Hole 1 is a par 5, 771-foot, 235-meter shot over a whole bunch of open land. This is a repurposed mixed-use park. You can see a lot of different sports being played on these fields. Not a whole lot of objects to contend with on the first hole, but we do have the Okinawan spring winds. There is OB that tapers towards the basket the whole way. 2 good straight shots to stay between the lines will give you an eagle attempt. This is a must birdie hole for this lead feature card. Let's see what they can do. Your lead card has Manabu Kajiyama, Jacky Chen from Taiwan, Joey Bruno from the States, and Kaede Matayoshi from Okinawa. Manabu tees off. Looked like a good throw out of the hand, but the headwind has pushed him right and out of bounds.
Jacky Chen.
The pride of Taiwan, or Chinese Taipei, depending on where you're from, Jacky Chen, Innova player, sponsored player, a teammate of mine. Going to show us his effortless distance. Let's see if that wind read he got off of Manabu's throw gets him a better result. This looks a bit too stable, maybe? But it gets down in time and stops short of the OB line. Shaking his head.
Joey Bruno.
Joey Bruno from the States. He's going to be showing us his forehand drives, predominantly forehand player. Throwing overstable flex lines into the wind. Excellent shot right between the lines. And Okinawa's own Kaede Matayoshi. You've seen him on coverage before if you're a long-time Disc Channel watcher. This lefty is a multidisciplined frisbee thrower who knows how to make a circle spin, a beautiful low-driven drive into the headwind. And he outdrives Joey Bruno. Off we go. See what Manabu's left with after going out of bounds. Ton of distance. Puts a great move on this one. But will have perhaps a circle 2 look to save his par. Sorry, for birdie. Circle 2 look for birdie. Joey's put a lot of anhyzer on this one. We'll see if it comes back. And it does. Looks like Jacky picked up the same disc he threw off the tee. Threw it lower this time and appears to have outdriven the fairway. He's OB right. Kaede stood this one up. This is also in danger of going OB. The OB line's giving our lead card some trouble on the first hole. Decent approach from Kaede, sort of an unfriendly roll. Jacky putting way off screen. Joey, knowing that he's going to be picking up strokes on folks, at least on the feature card, wisely lays up. Manabu just low. And unlucky to get a roll on that, but it is an elevated green. Kaede gets both chain and cage, but cannot convert. Manabu also splashing out left. Jacky shows us that the basket will catch a good putt. So he cleans up his par. And as our lead card taps out, in this field of 18 players, 11% got the eagle, 39% got the birdie, 28% got par, 17% bogey, and 6% double bogey. This hole averaged 0.28 strokes under par. It was the 16th most difficult on the whole course. So we get another good look at Joey Bruno's forehand. I love seeing people who can twist their arm backwards. Just watching it makes my shoulders scream, but I'm not on MPO lead card, am I? Through hole 1, Joey Bruno is your leader at 1 under. As we move into hole 2. This course has 3 tees on it for the variety of different divisions that played this course. Of course, MPO is playing from the longest tee. This par 3, 279 foot, 85 meter shot that bends left to right. You have OB just right of the basket. Joey Bruno licking his chops at forehand specialist hole here. Distance control is key. As he puts that one into circle 1. Very nice. Perfect distance. Jacky looks to be throwing something a bit faster than Joey was throwing. And stops short of the OB deep line. Manabu with a low and driven shot. The distance on this one looks excellent. As long as that sits, he should have no trouble picking up his birdie. Kaede's gone a bit wide on this one. No danger of the OB there, but he'll have to make a putt. Jacky trying to make the best of his fortunate break. Sails the basket. He has a comebacker to save his par here. As Joey extends his lead. Jacky sneaks one in, perhaps a bit to the left side, but there are no pictures on the scorecard. Kaede taps in his par. And Manabu taps in his par. Hole 2 played 0.16 strokes under par with 28% birdies, 61% pars, 6% bogey, 6% double bogey. I believe that's one player each. Through 2 holes, your tournament leader is the perfect Joey Bruno. 2 holes, 2 birdies so far. There was OB all along the left side of that hole as well, something I neglected to mention. So we move into hole 3. Hole 3 is a par 4, 427 foot, 130 meter hole. You have some mandatories to contend with here. Apologies, these are not mandatories, they are just barriers in the fairway. Teeing off from under a net. Pretty unique place to tee off. Really making the best use of the areas of this multi-use park, I think. Good looking turf tee here. Joey going for the forehand roller, and he catches that fence. It is not a mandatory, but it does present an interesting obstacle in an otherwise obstacle-less field. The combination of this net over the teeing area and the trees just beyond really restrict the ceiling. Jacky gets an unfriendly bounce off of that net, but he is in a good position there. He might even have a look at the eagle. Manabu putting a good move on this one. Maybe if that had flipped up a bit more, he would have had a better straight shot at the basket, but he gets down close to the basket nonetheless. Kaede throwing a very understable disc, flipping up and getting it to fly dead straight. The dead straight skip. Ow. Effortless distance. He's thrown that one 140 meters maybe. Joey knows he's got to get this one close, and it looks like he almost found another net, but he didn't quite get there. He's going to have a tough putt for his birdie. Jacky with an eagle look here. You do have a low ceiling coming into this green. Oh, and he almost converts. Manabu doesn't really have a look here, and pays the price of risking the run. Kaede not really sure if he was trying to dunk it or lay it up, but he should have no trouble converting from there. Joey with not quite enough ceiling to get his flutter putt in the basket. He'll have to settle for par here. Manabu can't spin one in for his birdie either. He'll settle for par. Our feature card struggling to get something going here as Kaede picks up his birdie. This hole was pretty kind to the field. Hole 3 played .72 strokes under par with 11% eagles, 50% birdies, and 39% pars. Nothing worse than a par. Seems like one that our lead card wanted to get, but unfortunately could not. Through hole 3, your leader is still Joey Bruno, with Jacky Chen just a stroke behind him. As we move into hole 4. Hole 4 has a mandatory just off the tee here on the left, and the parking lot is OB all the way down the right side. If you can get past the mandatory, you have some space out to the left. I think a straight shot, 262 feet, 80 meters with this low ceiling is a pretty tough ask. You have to throw a putter or a straight mid-range in order to get there. Taking it out over the OB. The hyzer line is an option. I didn't realize that the hyzer line was there, but Jacky Chen proves otherwise. Kaede liked the hyzer line with his forehand. Got it a bit too nose up and unfortunately has ended up OB. We'll see where they spot him. Joey also struggling to keep it under the ceiling, but lucky to kick back into the fairway. And Manabu also goes out and around with a fast driver and has gotten quite a bit of ground play. Great approach from Kaede, minimizing the damage. Joey just missing some of those branches up at the top. You can hear his voice in the background there. Manabu unable to convert. Kind of a tricky putt from where he was. Jacky is your last birdie chance. And he makes good on it. Nice putt, Jacky. Hole 4 played .06 strokes under par with 28% birdies, 56% pars, 11% bogeys, and 6% double bogey or worse in the MPO field. As Manabu taps out his par, and Kaede his bogey. We have another look at Jacky's drive over the parking lot. Let's check in with scores. Jacky, with that birdie, has tied himself up with Joey Bruno. They have opposite scorecards. And Manabu and Kaede are both tied for third here as we move into hole number 5. Hole number 5, we're going back out over the athletic fields. There's an OB line that you can see at the left side of the screen here. There's also OB up by the metal fence at the top, and the track plays as hazard. 312 feet, 95 meters. A left to right moving shot is definitely the shot here. Forehand is probably the best option if you have the power for it, but if not, if the wind is favorable, a backhand turnover certainly is an option too. The biggest challenge here is getting up over that wall and staying out of hazard, which Jacky has done. He is on the dance floor with a birdie putt. This course layout is called the hibiscus course. You can see a bunch of hibiscus trees on this park layout. Each of the three, this course layout every year is designed and named by our course director. Manabu wants to sit here. Do not go over that fence. Looks like he's okay. It looks like there's a trench that catches discs that roll down the hill. And Kaede should have the easiest of all 4 players work at it with his backhand, and he does get the closest, I believe, there. Joey short and to the right. Not quite enough pop on his putt there. Manabu trying to spin one in, and that sits. A lot of tricky greens on this course. Jacky just off to the right. Kaede able to convert for the birdie and bring himself back to even par. Jacky off the crown. Some of these baskets look a little rickety and off kilter. There's only one PDGA sanctioned event run by the Okinawa Disc Golf Association to my knowledge, so I wouldn't be surprised if these baskets are in storage most of the time, most of the year. Like to see a bit more support from the community, get some new baskets in here next year maybe. Let's take another check-in on the scoreboard. Joey Bruno is your leader after Jacky Chen's unfortunate bogey. Hole 5, incidentally, played .56 strokes over par with a single birdie, 50% pars, 28% bogeys, and 17% double bogey or worse. As we move on to hole 6. Hole 6 is a par 3, 295-foot, 90-meter shot to an elevated basket. The track just in front of the tee plays as hazard. There is a tapering OB on both the left and right side. And then the track immediately behind the basket plays as hazard. Using OB lines to construct difficulty here in this wide open multi-use park as Kaede bounces it right under the basket. On a windy day like this, especially with an elevated basket, you want to be as close as possible, but I don't think you'll hear him complaining about that drive. Joey goes straight at it with this mid-range that I think he threw on hole 3 as well. Manabu going to a standstill with something a bit wider rim. Man, I wish I had that kind of distance with a smooth, no motion standstill forehand. Jacky snaps one out there forehand as well, and this has also finished to the right of the basket. Joey's up first. Got a tailwind, which is the favorable wind. Was that a headwind? I can't really tell. Camera tricks. Unfortunately, he didn't make it either way. Jacky was just nose up enough to skip into the basket off the front side of the cage. Not satisfied with his putt, but in is in, my friend. In is in. Kaede with a tailwind. Slapped him down. And Manabu off right. He can't get that puck going, can he? Manabu cleans up his par. Hole 6 played .22 strokes under par with 22% birdies and 78% pars. Nothing worse. Doesn't look like the OB presented much of the challenge to our field. Looks like putting was the separator. Well, driving and putting, I suppose. Through 6 holes, Jacky Chen and Joey Bruno are all tied up at the top at 2 under. Kaede's 2 strokes behind in 3rd place. And Manabu 1 over just behind him as we move into hole number 7. Hole number 7, a very unique tee pad from inside the stadium exit out over the hazard track. You have a reverse tapering OB here, as in it gets wider the further towards the basket you get. That little concrete area with the flagpoles in front of it is OB over there. Otherwise, OB is on the other side of all the white marked lines. What we just flew over was that path is not OB, and then our basket is sitting up at the peak of this very long, slightly rectangular shaped hole. Nice teeing surface, especially in dry conditions. Let's see if our lead card can take advantage of it. Par 4, 509 foot, 155 meter. Looks like a strong right to left wind here. Jacky makes it all the way over the field, but unfortunately fades out OB to the left. Kaede is going to be contending with the wind in the opposite direction. This should drop his drive. It looks like he's playing to lay up short of the hazard, and has done so successfully. You can't get much closer than that. Joey wants to go all the way here. It doesn't quite get the height right. Maybe the wind playing some tricks on him. And this is going to end up in the hazard. For those unfamiliar, hazard plays as a +1 OB stroke, but you do not return to the line at which you cut the hazard. You play the shot from where it lies. Manabu with a run up and a booming shot, showing why he was Japan's #1 for so many years. Clearing the field accurately. Kaede's upshot has gotten away from him a bit here. He'll be about 8 or 9 meters away for his birdie putt, and he knows it. Joey making good use of the tailwind here to drop his nose-up floaty approach just short of the basket. Jacky, after taking an OB stroke, that was his 3rd shot, so he'll tap in a par here. Manabu choosing to go up and over these trees. It's a good effect. Kaede, for all the griping he did, tilting his head. Look at the smile on that face. Makes good on that birdie, no problem. Joey cleans up the par, although I'm sure he would have liked to see the birdie here. Although the birdie was quite elusive. Hole 7 played .11 strokes over par. 22% of the field, 4 players, got a birdie. 56% pars, 11% bogeys, and 11% double bogey or worse. A separator hole to be sure. So we have another look at Manabu shot. Manabu is Masters eligible this year, ladies and gentlemen. Would love to see him out there at the Masters World Championships. Jacky and Bruno are still tied at the top. Sorry, Jacky and Joey are still tied at the top. Kaede 1 stroke behind them as we move into hole number 8. Hole number 8 is a par 4, 476 foot, 145 meter shot. Again, The track places hazard. You have an OB line running all the way down the left side of the screen here. Players must clear the field and land on this very narrow strip of land between the dividing wall and the road beyond. Not a whole lot of incentive to go for the eagle here, though distance-wise I suppose it is available to a couple of our big throwers here. Although with the trees positioned where they are, I think you're just trying to get as close as possible to that track to simplify your layup. Kaede is just so good at getting great distance with low lines. Manabu taking a rip at it. It doesn't look... Yeah, he's laying up short of the track as well. Jacky going out around the tree. Slightly more hyzery line. I suppose if you're confident with your approaches, you don't need that much distance. And Joey showing us the shot he has, which is a booming forehand that doesn't quite get back on edge. He'll have a long approach into this very narrow green. Jacky Chen's up first. That looks like a Toro, which has been used perfectly. That is an excellent shot. Puts himself in great position. Joey hoping this is not too far, and it's just perfect. Kaede a bit too low. You hate to see that. On the track playing as hazard. Manabu trying to use an angled shot into the green to control his speed. A little bit of a skip, but he should be alright. Kaede runs the putt. Hopefully this doesn't come back to bite him. It does not. Manabu has this left for birdie. And he splashes out to the left. Kaede converts for his bogey, dancing around even this whole round so far. Don't look now. Jacky is stabilizing, although nobody's been as stable as Joey. Still a markless card, 3 birdies, and a bunch of pars. Jacky and Joey will be tied up going into our final hole in the front 9. By the way, hole 8 played 0.06 strokes under par, almost perfectly to par, 44% birdies, 28% pars, 17% bogeys, and 11% double bogey or worse. Move on to this elevated teeing space. Hole 1, par 3, 197-foot, 60-meter shot. The tee area, the grassy tee area, and the grassy goal area are both safe, but everywhere else is OB. There's OB just behind the basket. This is a distance control hole. How well can you drop a dime with the right side pinned off? Backhand exclusive players are going to have a challenge here. That nice little patch of clover just short left of the basket is going to eat up drives. They hit it. Joey telling this to get down. I do not see a graphic. It looks like the disc listened. And I'll be going with a high hyzer line here. He gets a Manabu from one of his card mates, who clearly could not see the disc had rolled out of bounds behind the basket. That's unfortunate. And Kaede showing his distance control. Don't bump your head tapping that one in. A great way to finish out the front 9. Joey hoping to take advantage. Just short. Tough putt to run with OB just behind. Just a bit high and to the right. Jacky can't get it to sit. Manabu cleans up his par, minimizing damage on this hole. It's a shame considering how close he was. Kaede not quite as close to the basket as I thought he was, but he cleans up the birdie. No doubt, hole 9 played 0.17 strokes under par with 39% birdies, 44% pars, 11% bogeys, and 6% double bogey or worse. Sounds like somebody had a tough time with this island hole. As Joey taps out our lead cards, front 9. Well done, gentlemen. Thank you all for joining me for the front 9 of the 14th Okinawa Open. Round 1. We hope you join us for the back 9. If you like what you see and you're interested in supporting our media team, please consider becoming a Disc Channel Founders Club. The Founders Club is a YouTube subscription model. Go ahead and hit subscribe on YouTube and donate whatever you feel comfortable donating to help us provide you coverage to as many tournaments on the Japanese yearly tour as we can. Thank you to everyone who has done so far, and thank you for joining us regardless of whether or not you are a Disc Channel founder. Looking forward to talking to you guys, seeing you in the next one. Until then, take it easy. This is Rob Roland, Innova Ambassador, signing off.